Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and this is lesson number 43, or different colors again. This is lesson number 43 in our dive into the wonderful world of music theory. And today we're going to be talking about accents, and these come under articulation. And there are quite a few forms of articulation, but I thought I'd just mention the main ones in the form of accents today. So, in music, okay, so our accents and particularly articulation in general are basically telling us how to play a certain sound. So the position of a note on the staff tells us what pitch to play the note at. The type of note that it is a combination of the time signature and tempo tell me how long to play that note. But sometimes we have other qualities to the note. For example, maybe I want to put some emphasis on some notes. Maybe I want some notes to last longer than other notes. Maybe I want some notes to feel short and so detached, right? And so that these qualities are conveyed through these kind of accents. So qualities which aren't just about how long the note is, sometimes they are, but usually qualities, for example, like being detached or being emphasis or accents, stuff like this we use articulation for, right? And today I want to pick up accents, which are basically meant to separate a specific note from the rest of the notes that are present, right? And they're part of articulation in general. And today I want to take a look at 5 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and break down individually what they mean. There's also multiple other good resources on YouTube breaking these down, so you can also go check out those after this one if you feel like it. Great. The first one I'm going to talk about is staccato. Staccato. And it's basically when you have a note with a dot above it when it's facing upright, and a note with a dot below it when it's facing downward. So this dot tells you that the note is staccato. Staccato. It has a T for those of you who are wondering. And this means to play the note in a detached fashion. So that means you would play the note slightly shorter and it sounds detached from the rest of the music, right? So for example, if I play one staccato, it will be like this. If I play multiple staccatos in a row, it will be like this. Each one feels detached from the overall music. And maybe if I play one staccato and other in some form of music, so that both those notes were detached. I'm detaching them from the rest of the music. So I'm sure you can figure out which one is the staccato. Once again, if I play them, bunch them on the road, it sounds like this. And it's a form of accenting that note, making it detached from the rest of the music. So it's slightly shorter, and you play it with the intent to sort of set it aside from the rest of the music and sort of detach it from it. I am using the word detached out, but yeah, that's essentially what defines a staccato. So hopefully it's clear at this point what the staccato is. Next we have, now this one's not used that much at all. In fact, when I was researching for this video, I came across it. Otherwise, in my personal music career, my personal music experience, I've never come across a staccatissimo, right? But it looks something like this. So when you have a note like this, you have a small sort of thing above it, like that. Or when you have a note like this, you have a small sort of thing above it, like that. When it's slightly elongated, something like that. It's called a staccatissimo. And what that just means is detached, or like very detached. So very detached. So if it's staccato, it's just more detached. If staccato is detached, staccatissimo is more detached. So staccatissimo is like this. It's very difficult for me to, I'm not a pianist, but staccatissimo would be like this. So if I'm playing some music, that's probably staccatissimo. That's also probably staccatissimo. It's basically just like how a staccato is detached, but just more detached. More, and by detached, once again, it is shorter than all the other notes. It feels separated from the rest of the music. Once again, so I'm sure this. So those were just a bunch of staccatos or staccatismos. So you can see it's just more detached. Nothing much more to it. Then there is Then there is a Marcado. Then there is something called a Marcado. That's when you have a specific note and you put a triangle over it like this. So you put a triangle over a note like this, and then it's called, and you actually put, if I'm not wrong, you put a triangle over the note. I'm not entirely sure this one, but yeah. So when you put a small triangle like this over the note, it looks like a cap or maybe a carrot. It's called a marcado. This just means put emphasis on the note. Put emphasis on the note. That means that don't be detached, but put emphasis on it. So let's try. So maybe I'll put some emphasis in this music, and I'm sure you'll figure out which one it is. So yeah, once again. So as you can see, so I'll put emphasis on a specific note. So maybe I'm playing some music. I'll put emphasis on a specific note. So maybe I'm playing. I'll put emphasis on a specific note. So if I was doing one note, it'll be like this. If I'm doing multiple notes, it'll be like. So I'm putting emphasis on it, and if you put it in a piece of music, it would be like. So I interspace some marcado there. So like that was the marcado, and then yeah, so those were all marcado. So it's basically just putting emphasis on a note. So once again, so that was also marcado. So they're basically putting emphasis on a note, so I can demonstrate. So perhaps to the first note and maybe every other fourth note, I will show you. That is marcado. Every fourth note is marcado. Let's show. So I'm just putting emphasis on it. It sometimes means play it a bit louder, sometimes means play it. It just basically emphasizes it a bit, and you can interpret that in the way you want to. Then there's this, I'm not sure there's another word for it, it's just called an accent, which is like this, just like this. Great. Um, this here, and it just means emphasize again, but keep it slightly long, hold longer. So in the marcado, I'm sort of tapering it off and making it slightly shorter. In the accent, the difference is very subtle, but I'll hold it for slightly longer. So maybe that's accent, and maybe this was marcado. So in the accent, I'm holding it for slightly longer. In the marcado, I'm sort of tapering it off. In the accent, I'm holding it for slightly longer. Then we come to one very common one, which is legato. So both marcado and accent about emphasizing the note. So maybe if I'm playing. So when I'm doing. So I want to emphasize that C. I use a marcado or an accent depending on what my use case is. So then legato just means to hold for the full length, for hold for full duration. So this is basically holding the note for longer. Basically, usually what we do is, as I said, we usually have spaces between notes like that. Do them one after the other. So that if I'm playing normal music, it will be like this. Now if I put all the notes legato, it will be like this. So the difference is subtle, but what I'm doing is I'm making each note longer. I'm making it not. I'm actually just keeping its full length. I'm making sure to include its full length. So if a quarter note's worth one count, I'm making sure it's worth that entire one count. Normally, what we do, we leave some space between the notes like this, and in legato, that space is still there. It's just very small. So I will play it like with legato. I play it like this. So you can see this. It's much more connected. It's much more. Yeah, legato I think literally translates to connected. It's much more connected. It flows much better. And each note is slightly longer because I'm holding it for the full duration now. Once again, so without legato, with legato, once again with all these differences quite subtle, but it is present. It's apparent. Just legato, and that's a small line above or below the note like that. This means hold it for longer, make it connected, but not so don't hold it for longer than what the note value dictates. Just hold it for that full value. So if a quarter note is one count, don't hold it for more than one count. Just hold it for that full one count and don't let it taper it off at any point in time. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to cover for accents and articulation. These are 5 different types of accents, and I'm sorry if my bad. I'm not a pianist. I should probably get that out there. So my skills on the piano are something to be leave something to be desired. So I'm not able to fully give all these accents to their full extent what they mean. I mean, I can explain what they mean, but demonstrations aren't as amazing. So I'm sure if you go to some other video on YouTube, you'll find much better demonstration than what I was able to provide. That being said, hopefully you enjoyed this video to some extent. Hopefully you found it useful, and I will see you next time. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.